Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to get started. Sorry. That's okay. First of all, thank you for coming out on such a dreary day. It's pretty dreary around here, but it's even more dreary in some of the neighborhoods of Providence. And they live through this each and every day living in fear. So that's what I call dreary. Okay, so this is nothing. This is a great day for all of us, because we get a chance to enjoy living in the great state of Rhode Island and the great city of Providence. However, there is too much crime in Providence. Now, I know that the crime rate has gone down, and I respect that. The police are doing more with less. The mayor's doing what he can do. However, when you talk about crime going down to people that are victims of crime, it rings hollow. It rings hollow because they're burying their loved ones and they're crying out, somebody please do something. You know, gunshots are ringing out sometimes with unintended targets, meaning that anybody could get hit. But that takes it beyond the gang violence. Gang violence is a problem, and we need police deployment to help us with that problem. We also need people in the community to tell on those that are perpetrating this on our community. Anybody perpetrating mayhem and murder in our community deserves to be turned in. And I believe in snitching. They deserve to be turned in. And to quote the great philosopher Pooh Hackney, it is on us. It is on us, and we are doing what we have to do. There are a number of organizations that are on those streets each and every day taking care of business. And they have little or no resources, so they understand that it's on us. But we need help. We're not blaming anybody. But we're asking everybody to be working with us to help solve, which is a very difficult problem, crime. It's very complicated because there's much involved in that. We know that people that are working a 9-to-5 job or have a good education, they're not gangbangers. They're not the ones doing that. So part of the remedy is to have a better education system. Our education system leaves a lot to be desired. One statistic, 75% of all the students entering CCRI, community college, need remedial work. That speaks to our education system. Jobs, we have no jobs. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that while we wring our hands because it's a 10% unemployment rate or 9% or whatever the rate is statewide in Rhode Island, in certain communities, the rate is 30%. And among communities of color, the youth 18 to 24, it's 40%. 40%. That's a recipe for disaster. When you couple that with the lack of recreation programs relative to even 10 years ago, when you have people with no hope and they have nothing to risk, then anything could happen. You got to give people a chance. You got to give people opportunity. And so we've come up with a 5-point plan to at least move the needle in the right direction. There's no magic bullet. But we can't sit by and let our community be terrorized. We can't sit by and let mothers bury their children. It's unacceptable. Quality of life should be a high priority. We need to reprioritize dollars. We talk about economic development being a savior for Rhode Island. Have businesses come in. What businesses are going to come in when you first have too high a crime rate, gangbangers, and second, you don't have people that are able to be trained to get the jobs that they are willing to put in your state. So that's a reason why people outside of Providence, outside of these communities should be interested. Because without taking care of a problem in Providence, we're not going to take care of any problems throughout this state. We are inextricably linked, make no mistake about it. We are our brother's keeper, and if you're not, then you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. You know, we are all connected, like it or not. And for those who don't understand that, go ask somebody how we're connected. Because you need to learn, and you need to learn now. Here's the 5 points. I'm going to kind of paraphrase them before I have Kobe Dennis speak. We recommend that Mayor Tavares convene a call to action planning summit with the Providence City Council and also other leadership, like the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce, like the Rhode Island Foundation, like the university president. Let's have a summit to all put our collective wisdom together to figure out how we can alleviate this crime. We can do better. 2, we recommend that Governor Chafee direct the Governor's Workforce Board to establish targeted workforce development in the neighborhoods of high unemployment in the city of Providence. Where the greatest need is, we want that work board to target those neighborhoods in terms of their planning, the good work that they're doing over there. Number 3, we recommend that the mayor and the Providence City Council evaluate the Providence Recreation Department to determine the effectiveness in providing recreation activities for youth. Now we know that, there are challenges in terms of the budget, but there's also private grants. There's also other ways to leverage resources to make sure that those kids have something to do. We haven't maximized all the ideas that one could have to have a better recreation system here in Providence. We can do better. Number 4, we request the Attorney General to dedicate 50% of the Google settlement funds. You remember the Google funds, those millions of dollars that came here to Providence? We're asking for 15% to help be proactive to make sure that kids and ex-offenders have a chance up, a leg up in life, so that they don't want to become a gangbanger, they want to be a productive citizen paying taxes like you and I. We want at least 15%, and if we can't get it, we want to know from the Attorney General why not. Why can't our community get money when every other community gets money? We want to know what's going on with that Google money. And number 5, we request that the Public Safety Commissioner, that's right, Joe, we request that a Public Safety Commissioner establish a community liaison to connect the high crime neighborhoods with the police department. Somebody with that street credibility that the community knows, understands, and trusts, working with the police. Right now we don't have that. We need that. We don't need to create a new position. There's people that work for the city that probably could fill that role. So those are the 5 specifics that we, the NAACP and our fellow organizations have come up with. Now, our next speaker is going to be Kobe Dennis. He was with Project Night Vision. He's one of those individuals that has hit the ground running day in, day out, year in, year out. He's touching more lives in a month than most of us do in a year. So he has street cred. He knows what time it is. So I want you to listen to Kobe Dennis.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I want to thank you guys all for coming out today, and believe me, no script. I always try to write notes, but it never works out. I do want to get, the front page news out the way. There is somebody to blame for this violence. There are people to point to, and you're looking at them. People like myself need to stand up and take the blame for this, and I am going to do that. I call myself a community leader for a reason, because it's an unpaid position. But in the long run, I get the results of the good work that we're doing out here. So yes, I feel as though I get paid every day, but there are people to blame. So I don't want to look at Projo online and see all the people saying they need to look at themselves. We are looking at ourselves. All right? We are looking very closely at ourselves, and we realize that it is on us. It is on us, and I'll never stop saying that. But we, like many other people, we need a hand up. We've never needed a hand out. All right? And I don't know what the new terminology is for 2014 for people of color or for people that are disenfranchised, but I'm going to put it to urban youth, the urban areas. Those are the people we need some help. All right? And what are we demanding? Because we like to put it lightly for the cameras and so on, and that's fine. We're demanding that we get some help. Okay? We've been pushed around for many, many years, and this is downright ridiculous that we have to stand here on the courthouse steps to demand things just to get some attention. Just to get some attention. Now we've decided to have these things here because people always strategically say, why are you going to have it there? Because if we have it in Chad Brown like we did yesterday, giving out hot dogs and hamburgers, that was fun. But guess what? That was for the kids. It's grown-up time right now. And this is the time that we need to stand together and show people that we do have insight, that we do know what we're doing. We do know how to take care of our children, but we do need some help. Everyone gets help. This building gets help. Everyone gets funding. Why is there never enough money for us? I just don't understand that. I ran a program for 5 years, served thousands of young people for 5 years at nighttime with my family, friends, colleagues. I received a couple of pats on the back, a couple of awards. Guess where they're at? In my basement. because they mean nothing to me without the support that they were supposed to come with. And the support never came. So where am I at now? Night vision is disbanded, it's closed. Why? Because I'm tired. I'm tired. We need some help. Recreation. I'm not gonna point fingers because it doesn't do anything in the city or anywhere else. We need these places open. There's over 26 high schools in Providence alone. I'm sure you guys didn't know that. These buildings are closed at night all summer long. You know what I was told by one of the highest city public officials? That we can't have those buildings because they're closed. Obviously, he doesn't ride by them at night. They're open every night. The lights are on. The janitors do not work in the dark. We've asked for those buildings many times to run programs free of charge, because that's the only time I get some, response when I say we'll do it for free. And I'm all right with that. I'm at the point where I'll work day and night with these kids for free, so we don't have an AK coming through our neighborhood shooting people. Young lady in the back got to stand on crutches because she got an AK-47 bullet through her foot. I'll work for free for her and her kids. So we need to understand there are solutions. So we do demand some places to go for these young people. As one point we spoke about. Schools, churches, all these places getting these tax-free buildings, they should be obligated to give back some time to the youth of the neighborhoods they're serving. It's very simple. I don't understand how they get to close at 5, everyone goes home and they're on their first glass of wine and I'm dodging bullets. It's downright deplorable. We need help, we demand help, and that's all I'm going to say for today. Thank you.
We have 2 more speakers. Thank you, Kobe. Thank you, Kobe, for that. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do, Kobe. We have 2 more speakers. We have Leah Williams-Metz. She's the chairwoman of the NAACP Youth Council. And then I'm going to ask Pooh Hackney to also come with us, join us to speak, because this young man is really doing a tremendous job on those streets.
And then will you let the people speak? Because we never hear the people speak.
Well, we're going to do that. Okay. So here's Leah.
Hi, my name is Leah Williams-Metz. Most of you know me.
Speak up.
Hello?
Speak up.
Hi, I'm Leah Williams-Metz. I'm the chairwoman of the Youth Council, NAACP Youth Council. And I'm also a mother of 4, and I really want my children to be safe, George Howland Jr., he was one of my neighbors, and I just don't want any more tragedies. I don't want any more tragedies like that. Our children should feel safe when they leave their house, and right now they don't. And I want it to end, and I want to work with everybody. If we can all come together to open up the David Love School, then we can all come together and stop the violence. I know there's a lot of people working really hard right now, and I really want to, commend, the State Police Department for helping, the Chief Clemens. I want to thank Commissioner Perry for doing the best that you can with what you have, but I know that you need help. You need more. We need more. We need more. And so I want to end it on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Our next speaker is the person I mentioned that said, it's on us. Well, he's the one that came, well, I guess he didn't come up with it, but his partner did. But Pooh Hackney, where's Pooh Hackney? Pooh?
How we doing, family? Thank you for your time. Thanks for having us. I just want to reiterate what we always say. It's on us, and we understand that it's on us. I'm going to want to relinquish my time. I'm going to be respectful of the time. Just want to reiterate that it's on us. We understand that it's on us. We're going to carry our weight, handle our responsibilities. But like the brother James always says, it's not a handout. Like Kobe said, it's a hand up. We're going to hold people accountable. We can't complain about the officials, but we can hold you accountable. We know what your job description entails. You're obligated to serve certain areas. Like we said, a councilman for a certain ward is really a councilman for the whole city. So that's why everyone worked together for the Davy Lope situation. But we understand that it's on us. And like I said yesterday, I look directly in the camera and say that it's on us. We're going to carry our weight. But you can't say that this is land of the free, home of the brave, and the opportunities are not dispersed equally. So our buildings, our schools, our neighborhoods are supposed to look like every other building, school, and neighborhood. And we're taking accountability for what we're doing in our neighborhood. But when we do that, you have to play fair. You have to disperse them resources equally. And we will be at your building. We will be at your job. And it would be nice to see this crowd again back over in Chad Brown, because we don't want to disrespect the authenticity of what we're trying to do. Show up with some hot dogs and hamburgers and play some music. That's not what we specialize in. We specialize in affecting people authentically, organically, and genuinely. So it'll be nice for us to show back up to Chad Brown and show them that it's not a one-day thing. We care for the long term. We're family for the long term. And I just want to relinquish my time because Brother James, he did point out that we were here last time asking for the same thing. So come on, Mark. Come up, brother. And Brother Gerard Katara also. Thank you.
All right. Next speaker is James Montero of the Billy Taylor House. James?
This is deja vu because we were just here a few months ago in reference basically to the same situation that just repeated itself we seen a few days ago in Chad Brown, and now we're here again asking for the same thing. I don't know if people know what's going on, but there's rivalries that are taking place, and as a result of that, people are going back and forth across town and shooting each other. And it makes no sense to just keep coming out here and doing this, you know? Because tomorrow, right, if something isn't done to intervene, it's gonna happen again. And then we're gonna be right back out here again, saying we need help, we need your support, we need a hand up. Not a handout, because I'll be the last one that accepts a handout from anyone. I was not raised like that. But we need help in dealing with our communities, and we need help dealing with our youth. I'm a father, I work 2 jobs, my wife works to pay the bills. There are supposed to be. I pay taxes, I live on the east side, my tax bracket is with Blackstone Boulevard's tax bracket. My wife pays taxes, I pay taxes. There is supposed to be services in that community to help my child build autonomy outside of my house. It's not only my responsibility, it's all of our responsibility. And if we keep taking the attitude of, well, it's the parents, it's this, it's that. No, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child and form a child. My daughter is not gonna learn anything just by sitting in the house listening to me. She needs to go outside of the house and be in environments that are safe, that help nurture her and help her to grow. And these are what's missing, because we're taking too much of our money and we're funding the back end of the situations, especially with the Google money that Jim is talking about. We were here just a few months ago. Jim, you said basically the same thing. Now here we are again. My question is, it's on us. So what are we gonna do about it? That's it. Thank you.
She said she wanted somebody from the community to speak, so I said, okay, you're up. Bella.
Hi, my name is Bella Noka. I'm with the Narragansett Indian tribe, and today was a very hard day for us as well. You know about our oppression. It played out on television. Today's our anniversary date. How ironic is that? Okay? I came straight from there to here because I can't sleep at night. I can stay in South County and I can rest my head on my down pillow and rest really comfortably in my beautiful home. But I don't sleep when you don't sleep. When your kids are dying, my kids are dying. They are my kids. And it hurts every core. I am from Chad Brown, I am from East Side, and I am from Fox Point. I remember when drugs flooded the streets. I remember when we had programs, opportunities. We had CETA programs, JIPCA. We had opportunities. Somebody paved that way for us before we got there. And now we're here begging them for the same things we had. We had them. They were taken away from us. I love the fact that they fought for the pool, but I am not going to commend anyone for giving us back a pool you never should have taken away. You had no right to take it away. There's a group of people here who know how to put things together in an orderly fashion. We have a boys club in Fox Point that's not open, but to kids up to 12 years old. Our 15-year-old kids are riding around the streets with guns in their hands. Those basketball courts and swimming pools and every opportunity that's in that pool should be done. And with all due respect, cut your $140,000 annual budget, personal budget that you get, and put it into our program, because you're not doing much for us. You want to talk about pointing fingers? I'm not into pointing fingers, but I'm tired of politicians coming around with their pretty words asking for support. From now on, you put it in writing, because your words don't mean nothing here. Okay? Nothing. If it's not in writing, walk that way. Okay? Because we want it in writing right now. I could spend forever here, because I swear if I could save a life, or if I could stop this violence, or if I can plead with the hottest person in the street, I would do that. I would sit down with them right now here today. I had struggles in my life. People say that nothing good comes from Chad Brown, East Side, Fox Point. Well, you know what? Something good did come from it. A lot of good things come from those areas. There were the best of families. I had the best of love from those families. And I still go there and get the greatest of love. So don't tell me it's where you are positioned in life. It's all about giving our kids opportunities, and we're not asking you today, we're telling you today to do the right thing.
Thank you, Bella. Now she's going to explain what she really has on her mind. No, Ray Watson.
Hi everyone, Ray Watson, amongst other things, Executive Director of the Mount Hope Neighborhood Association. I mean, how many times have we been here already? Everything's been said. I guess particularly in my case, I'm not with the whole thing of not pointing fingers. I'm with Kobe, I'm pointing fingers at myself, but I'm also pointing fingers back at everyone that's pointing fingers at us. Because I'm out here every day. So when you talk about, well, what they need to do in their community, you're insulting to me. And the work that what are you doing to help? So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's been on us. Me personally, I've been saying it's on me for the past at least 4 to 5 years, right, Boo? That's not even a discussion as far as I'm concerned. What is everyone else out here who showed up today, who says they're about stopping the violence in this city and state, what are you doing? Because if you're not doing what we're doing, if you're not trying, if you're not being authentic about it, don't come talk to me about it. Don't waste my time. Don't frustrate me. Don't use me as an opportunity to look like you're trying to do something. Do something. This kid's dying. I mean, I don't even understand what the whole conversation's about. And don't tell me there's no money. There's plenty of money. It's not being managed correctly. So let's have a proper conversation about it. Because there's millions upon millions of dollars out here for stuff. We just don't get them. We know what it is. We don't want to hear the excuses anymore. We don't want to hear your reasons. Show up with the money, show up with the resources, or don't show up at all. Thank you in advance.
All right, I'm going to ask one more speaker to come up. But before I ask him to come up, I want to make sure that everybody here is registered to vote. If you are not registered to vote, you don't count. So you got to register to vote. The NAACP is going to have a voter registration drive this summer to make sure that everybody's registered to vote. We don't want to hear your excuses of why you can't register to vote. That's yesterday's news. Moving forward, you've got to be a voter. And we don't want to hear why you can't. Also, we want you to join the NAACP Brothers branch, because it can't be just 20 or 30 people. It needs to be 200, 300 people to do that. And we will meet with the elected officials and anybody else afterwards and have a meeting to strategize the next steps. So here's Mike Van Leesten of OIC. I'm gonna kill myself. You got the membership.
You know, it's really interesting. First of all, I'm probably the old man in the group. And I've got a good sense of history. And quite proud that the NAACP, that has historically helped America, helped all of us, not just some of us, set that stage. I can go back as far as 1954. Supreme Court decision, and how that's stimulated many of us to do what we're doing now. It's not just black folks, it's not just Latinos, it's not just Native Americans, it's not just white folks, but it's all of those folks that care about America We want to make it a better country. And what the NAACP, because I have to beat the drum for the NAACP for a second. What the NAACP did was strengthen our Constitution. The NAACP did much for our country and made that contribution. Everyone thinks of us as being protesters. Yeah, you know, there was a tea party that I really loved. There was a tea party that I really loved. Not the tea party that you hear about back, you know, out there, stupid Sarah Palin stuff. I'm talking about that tea party that protested against representation, taxation without representation, and throwing the tea into the house. That's the tea party I know about. And the group that's assembled here, I'm so proud to have been working with the group that's assembled, the NAACP, and all up here, and organized this. And we only see this as a beginning step. You know, years ago, when I was young, like many of you, there were those of us that went south to Mississippi and Alabama in the early 60s to just get the right to vote. And we did that. We made something happen. And we created a movement that all of us have captured. And the movement continues. And this is part of that. So this is just the beginning. This is just the opening salvo. We are here to make Rhode Island a much better place. We can all do it together. We can do it together. And this is just the first step. You know, if you don't plan your work, you're not going to work your plan. We're planning our work, and we intend to work our plan. John Lombardi is ready to register you folks to vote. If you're not registered, vote. I see a lot of elected officials here that care about things. I see a lot of community groups that care. God bless. We're on our way. Step one.
I'd like to thank all the elected officials and all the community leaders that are here. Thank you for doing so that you care about this community. At this point, we're going to entertain questions from the media. No, I know, and I wanted her to address the crowd, but she said she didn't want to do that. Okay, all right. Questions of any of us?
First question is, how do you feel that the mayor, there may be a staffer here, but the mayor himself isn't here today? How does that make you guys feel?
You know, I wasn't counting on any particular person on being here. I wanted to make sure that anybody that wanted to be here was here. So I'm not taking attendance. I'm not looking for who's here, who's not here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. And that's how I look at that.
Can I ask one question?
You can't, but hold on. I just want to make sure that the media wants to go. Do you have any other questions?
You mentioned you're not taking attendance. I mean, who from the city, can you name names of who you need to help you in this endeavor?
Well, we need the mayor to call this summit. We need him up. He's the head of the city. He's the one that can call the head of the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce, Laurie White. He can call Neil Steinberg at the Rhode Island Foundation. He can talk to the university presidents at Brown, at Rick, whatever. You know, he's the mayor, so it's appropriate for him to convene that group, and we'll be there to move this city forward.
We will call it.
But then we can call it too. We can call it too, but we respect his office. We respect his office, and if he doesn't want to convene it, then we will convene it ourselves.
This is also a state
We will convene it ourselves.
responsibility, and we all have to come to the tread.
That's right.
Ladies, just do it.
That's right. That's right. Bell.
My question would be,
Hold on.
my question would be the 5 things that you have on that list.
Yes.
Why don't you hand them to every single politician here and have them respond to you?
I'm going to give it to you.
Have them respond to you. Are there politicians here that would like to hear them respond?
Here we go.
Because that's what I want. I want you to step up, go up there and grab that piece of paper, rip it, and hand it.
All right. Any other questions?
One thing about when you think of gangs is that mentality that you have as they're kind of like from
Hold on.
from being young all the way up. It's the gang lifestyle. It's kind of what they've been entrenched in. How do you kind of combat that?
How do you combat that? You give them a good education, you give them a 9-to-5 job, and believe me, a person with a good education and a 9-to-5 job is not gang banging. It's that simple. I'm not trying to be cute or coy. I'm just saying that some communities get a good education, jobs are plentiful, and you don't see the gangs. Some communities, the education is not there, jobs are not there, and then you see the gangs. So it's not rocket science. It's very easy to understand that.
It was 600.
Give us some opportunity, and the gang problem will go away overnight. We want opportunity.
There was 600 jobs given out for the city of Providence. As I stated before, there's over 26 high schools. Probably about 10 of them have at least 700 to 1,500 kids each. So you can do the math. 600 jobs was nowhere near enough. What are we, the community, left to do with the rest of those teenagers that are roaming the streets every day? Every day. And the jobs last 6 weeks at that. So what are we supposed to do? But yet, when the shootings and things occur, it's our responsibility to deal with that. So that's what we're asking. That's why we're asking for a hand up, because we know we need some help with trying to keep these young people busy. It's that simple.
Other questions? I know you're pressed for time. Other questions? Any questions from anybody out here?
I want to know the date that we're going to schedule the summit. We as a community can drive that. We have enough manpower. And by the way, I'm the president of the Rhode Island Black Business Association. We need to ensure that we invest in black business. We have enough leaders to drive this summit. We don't need to wait for just the mayor. There is enough leaders standing right around here where we can pull a summit together.
I agree. So let us meet. We're going to set up a time to meet. We're going to invite everybody that's interested, a time to meet, and then we'll do our first planning session for the summit. Lisa's right. Lisa's right.
Time and date. Time and date.
I can't set a time and date now.
We can't set a time and date, but since I'm Juan Pichardo, State Senator in District 2, and I'm also joined with Senator Harold Metz, and obviously with it's not. But we want to make sure that we step up, because it's the community that's asking.
Absolutely. And we have our senators here. We're going to make sure that any elected official that wants to be a part of this can join us. Anybody that's an elected official that wants to be a part of this certainly can join us to plan this summit. It's all of our community. Nobody owns this community. It's all our community. So anybody that wants to step up, we encourage that. We encourage that. We will let you know when we're going to have our first meeting. So we'll make sure that everybody knows so they can be there. And we'll plan from there. I can't give them a time. I can't give you a time, because then it's going to be...
Give me your email address.
All right. Everybody,
Phone number.
Everybody should have my email address.
Get your attention, please.
Hey,
Get your attention, please.
it's on us. It's on, and I want to be available. I want to give everybody my phone number and my email address so that you can say, hey, what's happening with that summit? All right? Because accountability is important for everybody. My phone number is 261-0174. It's 261-0174. And my email address is jvincent577@gmail.com. So for those of you I don't have as a contact, email me so I have your contact. I know if you're expressing interest, I know who you are, and we will make sure that you're included at the planning stage for the summit that so badly needed. I'd like to thank everybody that's here. Anything else? Anybody have anything else that you want to say? Let me see the phone. It's right here.
Here's the deal. We got a lot of elected officials here. We're not really in the business of letting anyone off the hook. The community's putting out a challenge. Next Monday, 5:30 p.m. Billy Taylor Park, Billy Taylor Summer Basketball League is going on. Be there with your responses to those flyers.
Yes.
Really interested? Really want to help us out? You'll be there next Monday, Billy Taylor Park, what the Summer Basketball League. Let us know what you're going to do to help our community.
I know. That's why I said that.
All right, anything else? If not, thank you very much, and let's work together to reduce the violence that we know no community deserves. Let's work together.